Hey, lovely people, it's Krista, and I'm back today to talk to you about a vision board. Now, before you roll your eyes and think this is only for some lady sitting around cutting up, old newspapers and making a poster board, I really want to tell you the power of manifestation. I am a believer that you cannot achieve something unless you can see it in your mind. And a lot of us are going along in our daily lives, and that leads to years, and that leads to a whole lifetime without properly visualizing where we want to go. What is your destination? So whatever you do daily, be mindful and think, does this tie back into the big picture of where I want to go? Especially when you struggle with indecisiveness and you don't know how to make a decision. I always tell my clients in my coaching practice to ask yourself, would this activity take me closer or further away from my goals, or would it completely sidetrack me? And if the chances are that it does not tie into your goals, then you should probably say no, because the key to achieving your goals is obviously a lot of hard work and focus. Most importantly, focus, because in my experience, most people are willing to do a lot of hard work, but they're working in the wrong way. They're working in a busyness fashion or without that prize in mind, right? That's what I want to do with the vision board. So the vision board is a tool that everyone should consider implementing, whether you're a corporate executive, a freelancer, an athlete, even a teenager, or a business owner for sure. You need to have a vision board. So how do we do this? Is first and foremost, you want to create a bucket list. And your bucket list is your free for all where you can write anything and everything. However, what's really important is how you structure your bucket list. It's not what you write on it, but how you structure it. Let me explain. You need to prioritize into 4 categories. What I see people making the mistake of their bucket list as well as their vision board, because they tie together, is that they dump all these material things on it. So when I ask them to put a vision board, the first thing that they'll put on there is a Ferrari car. And I'm like, no, that's not what your vision is. That is a prize for achieving your vision. Okay. So the categories that you want to have on your bucket list are number 1, health. Health will always come first. Unfortunately, many people put health last, or they put it out there on the side. Like, if I have time, I'll get enough sleep, or I'll work out, or I'll eat a healthy meal. When really, that is the key to finding the focus, finding the energy, finding all the things you need in order to achieve the rest. So always put health as your first bucket list category. Number 2 is going to be your career, because what is the one activity that we spend most of our waking hours doing besides, well, like I said, besides sleeping, right? It is work. So if you spend so much time doing something, it better be good. It better be what you want. You better be fulfilled at it, right? So number 2 will always be your career and figuring out what to do with your career. Your career, by the way, will drive everything else. So if you pick the wrong career, it will bring your health down. It will bring all aspects of your life down. So number 1, health, so that you can make good decisions and be functional in order to perform a career that you love, right? Number 3 is going to be relationships, because we are social creatures. We need love. From the very moment we were born, we crave acceptance and you being in touch with other humans. We're not meant to be all alone. So it's super important for you to fill your life with wonderful people around you, eliminate toxic people, and put that on your bucket list. Okay. And number 4 is your lifestyle. And that's where some of these material things might come in. So if you tell me, well, I really want to travel, that would be a lifestyle goal, right? And we'll get into these 4 categories in detail in a minute because I'm going to use myself as an example. But once you have your bucket list written down, then you can put some of these things under those 4 categories. You can prioritize them. You can formulate some big picture goals under the bucket list categories. And once you have all that done and you're ready to go, then we're going to create a vision board with it. And your vision board is where you actually pick imagery that creates the lifestyle that you want to have. So if you've ever worked in creative work like I have in an agency, you'll know this as a mood board. Like, it isn't like exactly how your life is going to look, but what it is it's a very good guideline of the type of life you want to have. So what's the time frame for a vision board? Some people do vision boards every year. I don't, because I don't think it should change. I think a vision board is the big end goal, right? And for me, my vision never changes. The only thing that happens is sometimes I accomplish some of my goals, and then it's almost like that is still my vision board, but it's almost like a reward there, you know? And so your vision board should really give me an idea of the whole picture of how you want to live your life. And of course, you can always add to it or modify things later, but sincerely, it's a one-time deal, in my opinion. Some people might disagree, but it depends how you use it. Let me show you how I use mine, okay? So it starts with having some goals written down. So I told you about the bucket list. What I do is I take my bucket list and I formulate them into those 4 categories that would be more like goal statements. So my first goal is my health, and I divide health into 2 subcategories: physical health and emotional health. I want to be in the best shape of my life at every age. Done. And that doesn't change. So I won't go back a year later and be like, oh, I have to redo my vision board. My goal has changed. That goal is my target. It's my guiding light. It's part of my North Star mission statement, which you can find out more if you follow my channels. So now let's describe what I mean by being in the best shape of my life at every age. Is to have a strong, flexible body. So the worst thing is to be all stiff and not be able to move and not be able to do a backflip. There's your challenge for the week. And number 2 is to have healthy skin and hair. That's just part of my health goal. And number 3 is to have abundant energy. So how am I going to achieve these goals that fall under my health bucket list? Is by exercise, sleep, good food, and sex. Because I think those are all the elements that go into physical health. Now, I separate out emotional health. Some people don't, but I want to be really explicit about what I'm trying to do with my emotional health. So my goal is to be serene, confident, focused, and fulfilled. So how do I do that? Is by laughter, relationships, a great work, and my environment. Okay, and now number 2 is my career. So my goal is to have a thriving, purpose-driven business that sustains me financially and gives me great joy. So how do I do that? Or what does that mean? Sorry. Is I want to have creative output, constant creative output, that I'm always producing more and more, and it never stops. Number 2, I want to be recognized for what I am and what I can do. Number 3, I want proven results. Why am I doing all this if it's not to get results? It's not to get attention that I do my work, right? And number 4, it's to leave behind a legacy. So what am I actually trying to do in my career? I am trying to become the person to help people find their purpose and personal and professional fulfillment especially by creating their own businesses, because I know that that is the ultimate way to find financial freedom, and also have complete control over your work. So how do I try to achieve my career goals? I do this by producing content every day. I'm a content machine. So I've got podcasts, videos, articles, courses, and books. Oh, and of course, lives and workshops and webinars and all kinds of different, anything I can pretty much. And now Clubhouse once in a while too, which is more of like an audio live show. Um, and number two is to gain recognition. I publish my content. I use marketing to drive traffic to my content. And I'm trying to build up my popularity and my thought leadership, uh, so that then I will have a good personal brand, a good professional brand. I will become well known in my field. However, the third one is where the gold is at, the results. So every day I fight really hard to get each and every one of my clients results. I deeply care about their success. For me, there's no purpose in my work if they can't implement it, right? Um, so, and the last one, of course, is to build an empire that will live on past me. And I'm really committed to building an empire, a real empire. And I'm not going to go into it in this video, but this is just to give you an overview of my goals so that you can use this as an example to build your own vision board. Okay. So, and then number three is the relationships part. So, what do I want to have in my life? I want to have deep relationships that are nurturing, positive, and full of acceptance, admiration, and appreciation for one another. My love language is physical touch. I'm a diehard romantic. I'm a big believer in equality in relationships, and I'm not a big fan of marriage because I believe that most marriages people think is a one-time deal that seals you in for life, that you can't leave this person, and then they let themselves go, and then they start mistreating the other person, not holding up their end of the marriage. Doesn't happen all the time, but it seems like that's what marriage is intended to do. Whereas I believe you should recommit to your partner all the time, like you should have annual renewal vows. So, how do I want to build those kind of relationships? That's simple. Be in love with life and give it my all the time in all areas. So if I'm killing it and I'm at the top of my game, um, striving towards being the healthiest, fittest person I can be, striving towards, um, you know, having a killer career, striving towards my lifestyle goals, which we're going to get into next, I know that I will attract only great relationships all around me. And I think that that's the secret. I think that if you are living your best life, you will naturally attract people who want that as well. Okay. And that brings me to the last bucket goal on my list, which is to live my best life. Okay. So this is the lifestyle goal. So what does that look like for me? It's going to look for you differently, just like all the goals I've just described. They're going to be different for each person. For me, what's super, super important is my surroundings. I thrive or I wither in different surroundings. So I'm very sensitive to where I'm at. And for me, the best place I can be at is in the nature. I love being near the ocean, any body of water, actually, the forest or the mountains. So I need to have access to outdoor spaces. Um, I used to love the city, but now I feel I've changed and I prefer mostly to be in quiet places, quiet, beautiful nature places, especially where I can see sunrises, sunsets, where I have views, where I have surrounded by some flowers and fields and, anything that's beautiful. That's where I feel much, much better now where I'm at in my life. So I also really need to have um, personal development in my life. So if you took away my access to books, journals, podcasts, art, I would be music. Oh my gosh, I would be so miserable. So my lifestyle is very dependent on constantly uh, putting my mind towards things to try to keep learning. I'm a lifelong learner, and I really crave those kind of things in my lifestyle. And I make time, I prioritize daily time to read, listen to podcasts, and journal. And the other thing in my lifestyle is I'm a very holistic person. I love all things organic. I love crystals and stones and Ayurveda and natural medicine and herbs and teas and aromatherapy and yoga. So for me, my yoga practice is really a big cornerstone of my lifestyle. And the last thing that I would say about my lifestyle is travel. So I absolutely can't live without travel. And it's been a year since I've been able to travel, especially like I used to, which was all the time. And I very much miss it. So I feel that travel is in my blood. My ancestors were travelers, immigrants, and so I really want to travel again. So now let me just share my screen, and I would love to show you guys my vision board. So basically, you take your goals and your bucket list and all that, and you can use that to create a little vision board. So there are 3 places to create a vision board. Like I mentioned in the beginning, you can just get a poster board or a bulletin board, and you can actually cut out pictures and or print pictures and put them on this vision board. And I've seen some amazing ones, especially there have been vision board workshops that some people organize, and then you go there and they've got even more ready for you. And so I think it can be very beautiful, but I just don't have time for that. And so I prefer to do mine on Pinterest. You can also do it on Canva. So an alternative for a digital one is on canva.com. Mine here, as you can see, it combines elements from all my goals that I mentioned. Um, so I love animals and I want to have a dog again. So there's a dog, and I have some quotes that really matter to me. Wrote a memoir, and one of my inspirations was The Liars Club by Murray Carr. So I put that on there. My goal is to get my books into some of the best-selling lists. So I've got Amazon bestseller list. I've got Reese Witherspoon because she has a book club. Um, here's another book. These 3 books I admire. More quotes. New York Times bestseller list. These are all just inspiring me to try to get there. Then I really value a healthy lifestyle. So I've put all these kind of food and smoothie recipes and salad recipes just to remind me how that is important for me. And then I've got a few more dogs, if you can see, because I love those dogs. And then I've got a lot of wood, log cabin, chalet, mountain style mood imagery, because I have this property in the Alps and I really, really value this kind of nature lifestyle. So that's in my future, in my mood board. And then that switches over to a lot of surfing and cycling and even hang gliding and scuba diving, because these are all things with the ocean and with the outdoors that I so value. I love being outdoors. I love traveling. So there's a lot of travel images. There's some yoga images, more quotes from some people I admire. Elon Musk, Think and Go Rich, Napoleon Hill, Oprah, Tony Robbins. These people all inspire me. Um, let's see. Lots of things. I feel like I'm a wanderer and a traveler since birth. So this compass tattoo is something I've been wanting to get for a long time. So that's on my list. See, you guys are learning all my secrets here. Um, Lots of places that I either have been to and love or want to go back to. Um, then some things that relate to my work, like being an author, public speaking, blogging, all the things that I'm doing as a business owner or trying to do. TED Talk is on my list. Being in a great shape. So I've got some bikini photos here. Oh, there is a fancy sports car. I know I mentioned that's not supposed to be like the first item on your bucket list, but it's okay if you sneak one in. Big Sur in Carmel in California, one of my best favorite places ever. So you can see when I look through this mood board, this vision board, I just get so happy because this represents all the things that I really love is the ocean, the outdoors, views, and just really being in touch with nature and who I am. And also all the ways that you can make money as a business owner, being successful as a business owner. So I hope you guys found this interesting. I am putting a link to my vision board in here so you can take a look at it. And I really feel like talking about your goals and being really visual about your goals is super, super important. So I highly recommend that you guys try this exercise. And of course, reach out to me if you have any questions about creating your own vision board. You're working so hard so that you can live the life you want. Your life might not look anything like mine, but this is really what it's about. So take care, guys, and go out there and make your dreams happen.